We back.
We're back.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Hey guys, welcome to the Made for This podcast. We're your hosts, Brycelyn
And Alana.
and this is where you find out that you were made for this.
It has been a minute since we've been on here.
Yeah.
We've missed two, we know. With Easter being a big holiday, we felt like that should be family time.
Yeah.
And then personally, I've been going through some health issues. So that's why we didn't have one a few weeks ago. But I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. But we're going to continue to pray for complete healing in the Lord to minister to my body. So if you
Amen.
would, pray for me.
Yes, definitely. It's
Yep.
good to have you back.
It's good to be back in the land of the living.
Oh, yeah. Well, today's going to be a fun day because we are going to be talking about friendship,
Whoop, whoop.
specifically our friendship, and we'll just see what else, that comes up. But yeah, I'm just super excited to do this with my best friend. And yeah, just to share with y'all how we met and just a little bit about us and just our friendship. And
Yep.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's funny because the name is Made for This, and you're made to have friendship. You really are. I don't know what I would have done without Brycelyn the past few years. Honestly, don't know how I lived my life before meeting you.
Yeah, same.
But God knows who you need and when you need them, and He ordains things. And I love that. We've talked on here a lot about our days are written in His book. And I love that somewhere in His big book, He wrote that we would be best friends.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful.
Me too.
Forever and eternally will be grateful. I'm like, Lord, you didn't give her as a blood sister, which kind of makes me upset. But I got her as a best friend and a spirit sister and a wind sister. And so
Period.
I'm excited. I'm grateful. So yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about that today, and just get ready. Buckle up. I don't know what's about to happen. Brycelyn don't know what's about to happen. I'm sure we're going to be on blast a little bit today.
Just a little bit.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So a little bit of how we met. It's literally an epic story. It's literally insane. I think about it often, and I love when people ask about like, oh, how did you guys meet? I'm like, okay, let me just tell you real quick. But I'll tell my side, and I'm sure she'll tell hers. But basically, I'm from Florida, so I don't really remember the whole year because when it happened and all this stuff. I think it was some time before. It might have been 2020 or 2021, around that time. And I'm a dreamer, so I dream a lot, and the Lord speaks to me through dreams. And there was this one specific night, and I couldn't really tell you specifically what happened in the dream. I know I journaled it, so it's somewhere in my box of things in the garage. But yeah, basically in the dream, all I remember is hearing the name Alana is how I pronounced it. But it's spelled the exact same way as your name. And so I literally, it was for a whole year. I was praying for this girl. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to minister to her. I don't know if like she's going to come up, if I'm going to, meet her at work or whatever. I was like, but it was like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like that name was like so in my heart. And I thought about it every single day because I'm like, I feel like they're like, the Lord wants to do something. And so I have that in my head. And fast forward when I moved to Alabama for School of Ministry. And I remember Pastor Gretchen, she was telling me a little bit about like where I was going to live and who my roommate was. And she told me that my roommate, her name was Alana. And I was like, hang on a second. I was like, how do you spell that? And so she, texted me all this stuff. And I was like, that's insane. I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like in this whole swirl, like, I'm going to be living with this person, And so when we finally met and stuff, it was just like, are you sure you don't pronounce it Alana?
Sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was just like my mind was just blown. And obviously the Lord has done such a work in that. And we've
Yes.
just grown so close since that day. And I'm just very grateful. Like, he literally told me your name before I even met you. You know, it's crazy.
That makes me want to cry.
I
all
know.
over
I might
again.
just cry.
Which is funny because I was about to say something and I say it every podcast and I cry every podcast. But I'm not a crier. I promise, y'all. I promise I'm not. Am I a crier?
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm not a crier. Okay. So on my end of it, and I say that really passionately because on my end, it has to do with crying, of course.
Yep.
But we were going out of my first year of school of ministry. So I'd been here for 3 years. I'd done J through 8, 2 years. I'd done 1 year of school of ministry. And the Lord had opened up a door for me to do another year with the school and then also be on staff some. And so I was going into it and I was really nervous because a lot of my friends were graduating. They were getting married, they were moving on, and I'm the only one really in my class that I was really close with that was staying behind. And so I was really kind of nervous about what the year was going to look like. Was I going to fit in with the ones moving up to school of ministry? Was I going to be by myself? Like, how is this going to work?
Yeah.
And one thing about me is I'm okay by myself, but not for long periods of time. I'm made for like fellowship and to be around people. And so I was really, really struggling with that thought of, okay, Lord, like, how is this going to look?
Mm-hmm.
And Pastor Greg had lunch with the school, and he was telling us about this girl who was coming to do J through 8 at the time. And he starts telling us about her, and he's telling us about her story and just how he had prophesied over you as a little girl. And I'm sitting at the lunch table with 15 other people, and I start weeping. And everyone's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Because, like I said, I don't cry. And if you know me outside of the podcast, then you know I don't cry.
Yeah.
And so I start weeping. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what's happening? I just felt like a draw to this girl, and I didn't know her. And so I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but that kind of came to a close. And a few weeks later, we were at one of my friend's weddings, and Pastor Greg had come up to me after, and he said, hey, so that girl I was telling you about, she's actually going to be in the school of ministry, and she's going to be your roommate. And so I start weeping again. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And I just knew. Like, I think my spirit was like, yes, like, this is it. And so I remember you moving in. I was meeting you. Well, actually, I remember finding your name and looking you up on Facebook and Instagram first and thinking, like, I don't think we're going to be friends. Because you looked so she is very put together in real life, but you looked completely different than how you really are. Like, I was thinking she's a hairdresser. She's like this, she's this, she's this. And so, but I still was weeping over her, but I was going, how? Like, I don't understand how this is going to work. And the moment I met you, I was like, that. I was like, that. I don't even know what to say. But it was like perfectly like a God moment. And it's funny because if you watch movies or read books, they talk about this like meet cute thing, like where two main characters meet. But I felt like it was just so much even better than that. Like, it's a God ordained moment of like, here you go. And I love it because why he chose to send us to Scottsboro, Alabama, and both of us meet through this and be in school together and learn so much about each other at 23, 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're the same age, praise God.
Yeah.
And so we were both, 23 turning 24 that year. It just, I don't know. And I still don't even know if I can put into words. Our relationship, our friendship, it's special.
Yeah, it is.
And I pray that for every girl, every guy, that you can have a friendship like this. But yeah, that's how we met. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And God stuck us together since. And never will be apart.
No,
Ever.
Never.
Never.
I don't care what happens.
I don't care either. Never. If Broslin's somewhere, so am I.
Yeah.
And if I'm somewhere, so is Brylan. Like, never going to be apart.
Definitely not.
Never.
I couldn't do this life without you. I'm so serious.
Go ahead and kill me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not joking.
Me neither.
I cry all the time. Y'all know I'm a crier. I literally
She's
cry
the
everything.
crier to my... I've actually cried more because we've been friends. Honestly, probably why I cry on the podcast more.
Yeah.
Because before we met, I was like, not crying. Like, I don't care.
It's so true.
But being around you, I think, has made me more emotional.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's for the good.
Yeah.
It really is.
So yeah, just like the first time like us meeting was so sweet. Oh my goodness. I remember it. I feel like I look like a little high schooler that was like going into like college. I had my backpack on and I'm just cheesing ear to ear. I was like, deuces, I'm out. I'm going. And so it was amazing. But I felt so drawn to you. And I remember like my first impression of you. This is what it was.
I've never heard this.
Well, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my goodness. But you were so welcoming and just so peaceful. I remember like you just like talking to me. It was just peace. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. And then I remember you got me like a little welcome gift. Do you remember that?
No.
You did give me a welcome gift. You wrote me a little note and then you got me a little mug and it said, this is so cool. It's blue. And it says, what was it? Faith can move mountains or something like that. And I have that tattooed on the back of my arm. So I was like, oh, I like this girl a lot. So,
I forgot about that. That's awesome.
yeah.
But I remember picking out that cup now that you say that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So sweet. And it was that moment I was like, oh, like, I know that Lord's going to do something. Like we were going to be close. And it wasn't like immediate close, we were, getting to know each other and things like that. But there was this one specific time I physically felt our hearts knit together. And I'll share a little bit about it because it was incredible. But I was going through some things. And this is why friendship is so important, is because you cannot do this life and battle certain things by yourself, because you will, like waver, like, like you just need someone to be beside you, to pray for you, to help you, and just be that ear for you.
Yeah. If one falls, how can he get up?
Right. Exactly. And so you are that person for me.
Same.
And so yeah, I felt like I could trust you. Like you were just, I just knew. And you were just so helpful in the school too. You're like, hey, just helping me out a little bit, because I can just be a little crazy sometimes. And so I trusted you, and it was probably the darkest parts of my life that I've ever lived through, and shared those things with you. And it was so sweet, and it was so comforting, because it did not change the way that we were together. It didn't change how you talked to me or viewed me, which was like so comforting, because I'm like, praise God. But yeah, you encouraged me in that. And at the time I was having really bad nightmares, literally every night terrors and things like that. I was scared of the dark, and literally like, we would sleep with the bathroom light on and stuff like that. Like I would be cool if like these lights like stayed on.
I was same too.
Yeah. And so there was one night, I forget what happened. Maybe you remember, but we were talking and you were like, give me a second. And she went and got a bowl of water, and you were saying how you felt like you needed to wash my feet. And it was like this whole spiritual moment, and like we felt something in the room. Like there was just so much, but like that was literally the moment where I feel like our hearts knitted, and like I just feel like we haven't really been the same since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember just I used to have really bad night terrors too. And at first I was really mad, because I was like, Lord, how can she be going through something like this? And I just remember like just needing to do that. Just go get water, wash her feet, and pray over her. And in my mind, I was thinking, this girl's going to think I'm nuts. Like, she's going to be like, who is this spiritual? Like, oh God, they done stuck me with a weirdo.
No, not at all.
But I just remember you being so like for it and welcoming. And I think that because I don't even know how to say it, but there's so many times where you can share your revelation or you can share your pearls with someone, and they either laugh or they don't get it, or they get jealous, or there's competition, and there's so many things. But something with us is when we're in a swirl, like we're in it together.
Yeah.
And if maybe one of us is not, we're going through a harder time, like there is no competition. There is no like jealousy. There is no like, oh, well, that's just a little thing from the Lord. Like, I admire you so much because even my little nuggets, like I find these little things, she makes me feel like they're huge things. And I think that not because you just let me be who I was. And it was, let's pray, like let's go seek the Lord. Let's do something. It was honestly, I felt like it was a prophetic act.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of shutting it down, you allowed it. And to me, I think that just was like, you can be yourself around her. Like you can be crazy, you can be a little weird, or you can do something a little strange. And not that washing people's feet strange, but I mean, your roommate, it's just, you have to be there.
Yeah.
But it made me so comfortable, and it made me like, okay, like this is it. This is of the Lord. Like, and I don't care what the enemy throws at her, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now. And I knew that night that this was happening. I'm going to tell you this right now. You're not fighting it alone. Like if you're going to try to attack her, then you better start shooting arrows at me too, because she's not going down. Like she's going to stand up, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to fight together. And something that I love is back in biblical times that shields locked together. And it was so that the darts couldn't get in, because if your shield's not locked together, there is a spot there. But when they're locked together, there is no room for an arrow to come in. And
that's good.
it just feels like that with us. Like it doesn't matter if it's dark moments for you or dark moments for me. And she shared that was some of her darkest moments. Well, some of my darkest moments have come recently, just in my mind and in my spirit, and fighting health issues and trying to work through some things. And I've never felt like I could not tell you. Even the craziest thought that I knew, like, I may never tell this out loud, I may never share this, I knew I could always come to you. And when I was little, growing up with anxiety, I remember thinking, I can't tell anybody this because I'll sound like a big baby, or I'll sound like this. And anytime something happens, I never think that with you. I'm always like, I can tell her and I can tell my mom. Like two people I know I can tell anything to. And it has never changed your view of me either, where I'm like, she should think I'm nuts. Like she should really think I'm crazy. I'm going crazy right now. It has never. And so I am so grateful for that. And yeah, the Lord blessed me.
Yeah, me too. I'm so lucky.
Me too. Me too.
Oh man.
That was a good moment though.
Yeah.
If I could go back to that room and just like replay what we experienced in that room.
Yeah. Crazy. I want to go back.
Me too. I'm like, move back with me.
Yes.
The Lord he knew what we needed.
Yeah, he did.
He did. And he always came in. This is a funny story, so I'll tell it. Which, have I talked about my liquid NyQuil on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So
this is awesome.
During that season when we lived together, in J3 or School of Ministry, your quiet times are your time with the Lord. You have to find some like weird places, because there's just people always everywhere.
It's true.
So it's not like I'm going to get up in the morning and go sit on the couch because there's someone already there. Or I'm not going to stay in my room because, well, Broslin's in the room. Or I'm not going to go sit outside because it's winter. Like there's just so many things. And so in our bathroom, there was like a sink, and it had like this carpet area, and then it would have like the shower area. And so, but there was this really comfortable spot against the wall, and it was carpeted. It was really nice. And that's where I would go sit. I would close the door, and I would just go sit in there and pray and read and think. And there was a time where my mind, I'm always fighting just battles in my mind. The enemy really likes to attack my thought life. And I think that's pretty common. I don't think that that's uncommon. But I remember when the Lord would tell me just to come sit. And I would be like, okay, Lord, like, what scripture do you want me to read? Like, what worship song do you want me to play? Like, what do you want? And he would say, no, just come sit. Okay, well, that goes against everything inside of me because I am the perfectionist performance. Like, let me do something for you, God. Like, let me do this or do that. Or I was an athlete, so let me score a home run or let me just do something. And he would never let me do anything. And so I would go sit in this room and my mind would start running with things. And I would get frustrated at first because I was like, how can this be doing anything? Well, about an hour into it, all of a sudden my mind would just start to shut down. And I would fall asleep, like deep sleep. Or I would be about to fall asleep and I would have to crawl out of the bathroom and into my bed. And Bryson, she's laughing because she would see me.
Yes.
And it literally, I call it liquid NyQuil because the Lord would just bring peace and like knock me out. Like, you don't need to think about this. You need to go to sleep right now. And so there were so many nights where I was always like trying to get to my bed because I was out of it. Like, I don't even know how to describe it besides it's NyQuil. Like, the Lord would knock me out. And so we went through that season with her. And so she's seen it.
Yep.
And even now, sometimes we'll be in the car talking about the Lord and we'll both start to feel it. And I'm like, I gotta get inside to my apartment. If I do not, I will be sleeping in this car tonight because I can't shut my brain down, but the Lord can somehow. And it's just sweet. That's just a funny story, but it's funny. Sweet.
I love it. It makes me think of, oh my goodness, I just miss this room so much. But like early in the morning, like I like to like rise up early in the morning, but like she'll like lay in bed but pray, but it looks like she's sleeping. And so, you know, I'm trying to like be quiet, not turn on the light. And every single morning she'd be like, you can turn on the light. I'm just praying. Every time. Every time.
Yeah. Because if I get up, my mind starts running.
Yeah.
And so I need that first 30 minutes just to lay there and pray with the Lord. And it's so funny because one of my favorite things about you is how you sleep.
Oh, gosh.
And so she sleeps like this.
Yeah.
And I sleep on my stomach. And so it's funny because those mornings I would turn around and I would be like that. And I would be like, she knows I'm up praying because like I don't sleep like this.
So true.
Every morning I would be like, you can turn the light on. She'd be like, oh, okay, you're up. I didn't know you were up. Like, I don't sleep on my back, Bryson, you do. You're the one that sleeps like this.
That's so true.
It's one of my favorite things. It used to freak me out a little bit. I was like, that can't be normal. Like that. This combo is wild.
Yeah.
Like, how can you? No. But it's funny now. I'm like, okay. And we would come home sometimes in the middle of the day. And I don't know why, but anytime I said I was going to take a nap, I never took a nap. And she would always be like, well, I'm not going to nap. And I would look over and this girl is gone. Like asleep. Out. And one of my favorite memories, I remember this. I took a picture of you because you had your laptop on you and you were asleep. But the screen was black. So it had already been who knows how long till her screen went to sleep. And so we had gotten up, we were going back to class or something. And I was like, Bryson, like, you were out. Like, what happened? You were like, I didn't sleep. I was like, oh, no. And I remember showing you the picture and you were like, oh, I couldn't have been asleep that long. I was like, your screen's black. Like, you had to be asleep for at least 10 minutes for your screen to go black.
That's wild. That's so funny. That is so funny. I mean, I can fall asleep anywhere at any time. Like that. I can sleep on command. It's a little...
It's scary.
It is scary.
She can sleep on command, and the Lord has got to put me to sleep.
Yeah. Here's your NyQuil.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's funny.
Man, I miss that room.
Me too.
I miss rooming with you.
Me too. It was the best time.
It was. I wish I remembered the first moment when you played, like, you know, Christian rap, and I was like, this girl.
I don't know.
I don't remember the first time, but it was amazing when I found out. I was like, bless the Lord.
I don't know either.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I could remember that too.
Me too. I feel like we were on our way to Sonic.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe.
Who knows what song it was, too. It's probably something.
Yeah. Well, it's probably King Jesus remix.
King Jesus remix. King Jesus remix.
It probably was.
And then I learned every single word to it
Yeah,
and can rap all 4 parts.
you can. It's the best. I'm just your hot man.
Yeah, but then I'm your hot man, too.
Yeah. When Into My Pants comes on, you best believe. Oh, gosh.
I love it.
I do too.
So, it's funny because we're so similar, but we're so different. And I have a prophetic word over my life that I was going to be a wind chime to the Lord. Yes. And I have never heard that word over anyone else. But of course, Broslyn comes into the picture. Mm-hmm. And I remember I know where we were at, but I'm not going to share where we were.
Yeah.
And you were getting prayed over, and Pastor Greg started to prophesy over you that you would be a wind chime. And I remember sitting there, and I was like, we're both going to be wind chimes? Like, this is awesome. Yes. And so if you ever hear us use the term wind sisters, that's why, because we're both wind chimes.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because even with the podcast and even doing things of the Lord, like, I wouldn't be doing this right now if I wouldn't have you.
Yeah, same.
And it's so sweet because we're going to share some funny stories still, but David and Jonathan, we read in the Bible, and they're like the model for covenant relationship. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a sweet moment for them where Jonathan can be himself and David can and not have to worry about being killed, and there's just so much. And they are an ideal covenant friendship. Well, for us, it doesn't even feel like just friendship. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like covenant friendship. It feels like something so much bigger than we can even put into words. Yeah. Like, for some reason, my calling is tied into yours and yours is into mine. And I love it.
Me too.
I love it. But it's just funny because a lot of the prophetic words I get, somewhere along the way, all of a sudden Broslyn's getting them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, like, she's stepping foot in places people won't want to step foot in. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have that word too. Or like, she's going to be called to do these things. Wait a minute, I have that too. Like,
yeah,
this is super cool. And they're both, what I love is they're together, but they're both very unique. Mm-hmm. And so Broslyn is an extravagant worshiper. Like, I want to worship like Broslyn, with her flags, and she's singing and dancing and just doing all of the things. And I love it. And I'm like, okay, that we're tied together, but that's her unique avenue. Like, it's just, she flows and she goes, and it's so sweet, and I love it. And I remember when I first watched you flag, I was like, that's awesome. I'll never do that. Like, I just remember being like, I don't know about that for me. Like, I will cheer you on, but I don't know about giving me a flag. And I remember coming home one day and we went out and we flagged.
Yes.
And it changed something inside of me of like, people could be watching. And this is the best thing ever. And this is one of the reasons why I love you so much. But when you used to flag, she never did it in the sanctuary at church during public worship. So if you think it was for show, it wasn't. Like, I would get frustrated. I'd be like, Broslyn, like, go flag. And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. Well, she would go flag at a park. She would put her earbuds in, listen to worship music, and worship in the middle of a public park where who knows could see her.
True.
But she didn't care. And I loved that. Because to me, I would think you would be doing it in a sanctuary and not at a park. But her worship to the Lord was so private and so sweet that she didn't care about anybody driving through a park that might be like, what is that girl doing? And eventually that did correlate to the sanctuary, and other people are flagging now, and our children are flagging now. And yeah, it works. Like, it did correlate. Like, I'm over our children's ministry, and they flag now because of Broslyn. Like, they saw, and she was able to birth something into what we needed here in Scottsboro. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't out of a place of look at me. It was out of a place of private And I think when I learned that about you, I was like, yes, like we can be best friends, because in this world, so many people want a platform and so many people want to be seen and heard. And it's kind of funny coming from two girls that's running a podcast. But when the Lord told us to do a podcast, it was like pulling our teeth, because we didn't want it for the platform or didn't want it to be seen. We just want it to glorify the Lord. And I remember when I learned that about you with the flags, it astounded me. And then for you to support me, and we went out there and we would flag, and I remember the fear of man would start to break off of me, because I would be so consumed of like, I don't even want to try to do this, because someone on their balcony in the other apartment could come out and be like, what are they doing? And I just remember it switching over to being like, who cares? Like, this is from the Lord. And I just love that. I love that about you. I love that you helped me grow in that area. And so
sweet.
It's cool. Cool little moment.
I love that. That could make me weep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And now we joke that one day one of us is going to grab a flag and start running around the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Something.
For
The
real.
Lord's got to be doing something if you ever see me running around the sanctuary with a flag. Like, if you do, just close your eyes and ask the Lord what's going on, because something's going on.
Honestly, I thought it was going to happen this past Sunday.
He was on me.
Yeah, he was.
He was on me.
Crazy. I think one thing I love about you is that you have such like a different perspective on things. You're just very wise, and you really are. And I'll be talking to you about something, and then you just go at it from a different angle, and I'll be like, wow, I never would have thought it would be, that, but that makes perfect sense, and you just hear the Lord so clear. It's insane. You really do. Like, the things that you come to me and like you share, like you say a little nugget. It's really not a little nugget. It's like this whole big thing, and I'm swirled, she's swirled, and I'm like, I have no idea what to say to that. Because I'm like, that's insane, but just your relationship with the Lord is so sweet, so sweet. And like, the word like insane front and back, I feel like, and just, you can just come off of it like that. And, it's just so sweet it's evident that you are in that secret place, and you really do spend time with the Lord, and it's just sweet.
Thanks.
And, I love it.
See, I love that, because to me, I would be like, I could spend more time, or I could read more, or I need to know more, and that's what I love about Broslyn. She's always encouraging me in that area, and it just, when we're able to truly step into the fullness of what the Lord has for us in our life, and the reason we're made for this, it's going to be because of these little moments where you encouraged and you were here, and I'm just grateful for that.
Yeah. So
Good.
sweet. And not to mention, she can preach the house down. She really can. Oh my goodness. I look forward to it every single time. If she'll be like, like when we were in school, like I'm teaching class or doing devotions or preaching at revision or whatever. I'm like, yes, I'm ready.
I love that too, because I feel like everyone else is like, oh, okay. Okay. And me and Broslyn are just over here, like, even if I was teaching a school ministry class together, because students got to teach classes, I feel like it was just me and you, like, in a swirl. Like, we're just back and forth, like, what's happening. And I love that we're both, that's another term of us, is a swirl.
Yeah.
When we feel like the Lord is doing something and speaking to us, it's very, like, swirly. Yeah, like, he's this and he's this, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I always think of you doing that. Like, you always do that. And so I always think of that. Of like, I'm just in a swirl right now.
That's amazing.
And what's really funny, and I was going to say this too a while ago when you said that, but it's funny because our callings are so similar and like we're tied together, but our swirls are usually similar too. Of like, we'll be studying this or we'll be doing this, and they connect. Yes. And then we'll go into service and Pastor Greg is saying something and we're like, okay, that connects.
Yeah.
And then also this is very personal, but I'm going to share it because I won't go into something crazy, but we dream the same.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have the same exact dreams
Yeah.
on the same exact nights.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And even though it was really bad when we lived together.
Mm-hmm.
But even now that we're even apart, like, I'll be like, Bronson, you got to hear this dream. And your face will change and you'll be like, I had that dream last night too.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny because I've never heard of anybody else doing that. But the Lord just somewhere, some way had us together in this friendship. And it's deep.
Yeah, it really is. Ugh. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. Like
It
how
is.
you were saying, like he literally had us both in mind when he was writing both of our stories, you know, and he
Yeah.
knew the moment we were going to meet. He knew that the things that we were going to walk through together.
Yeah.
It's insane. I can't wrap my head around it.
Me
you know?
neither. And it knit us together and put things inside of us that were similar and different.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I hope you have a friend that you're like, yeah, that's how it is.
Yes.
And we pray that this encourages you to be like that with your friendship. Maybe you have a friend that you don't feel like you can share your darkest moments with, or you can share revelation with, or pray over. Even yesterday, and this is funny because I was thinking about it this morning, but even yesterday, we've been going through just some spiritual warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in worship. We were about to close, and I knew I wanted to pray over Broslyn, but I knew it wasn't the time yet. And so service ended, and we were both on the floor. And I was like, I'm going to pray. And so I just grabbed you and started praying over you. And I was thinking about it this morning, getting ready, of how that's not... It looked strange. Like, people are leaving church and we're laying on the ground praying for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, that I don't see that very often, but I'm so glad I got it. Like,
Yeah.
and I knew if it was the same thing of like, I'm having these things, like, she would be praying for me too. And it doesn't matter who's around and it doesn't matter what's going on, but like, we're going to seek the Lord together on this matter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I loved that. And you went with it. Like, she wasn't like, no, like,
Yeah.
let's go somewhere else. Like, you were just like, okay, like, let's pray. And I just love that.
Yeah, me too. That's so good. Yeah. I've never met another person like you. I'm so
Same.
serious.
Same.
Like, you get me.
You get
Like,
me.
literally, I can look at you and you'll know exactly what I'm thinking. Or,
Yes.
You know, and it's not just for us either. It's like anybody can have this. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to watch or listen and be like, oh, that's so cool for them and I don't have that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can have it too. Literally, just ask the Lord.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
Like, even I think it was in episode 2 when I was talking about I went through that season of just not having any friends, you know, and just really getting close with the Lord. It was during that time when he spoke your name to me. And yeah, like, literally just ask him, because it's good to have, you know, little friends. Like, I feel like I have like a bunch of like different best friends,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like for different reasons, you know, like I have different friends that I connect with differently, and but like this is just super special and it's not like any other.
Right.
And yeah. And you can you can have different friendships and stuff, and
You
those are
can.
great. But this one is important. Like, this one is what I hope everyone can experience and have in their
Same.
life.
Same.
Yeah.
And I get very passionate when she's talking about other friends. I'm like, yeah. 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 Okay. Okay, Brosnan. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I have other friends too, and I love all of those dearly too. There's
Yeah.
some really special people that I feel like the Lord's blessed me with, but
Yes.
there is something different about this relationship, and I love it. And to go back to Saul and David, or not Saul and David, Jonathan and David, it's funny because the Bible is so big and it tells so many stories, but there's really one that we come back to.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that everyone can find it, because it is rare. I feel like it is so rare,
Yeah.
but it's not impossible. And if you want to be friends with someone, you've got to show yourself friendly. That's what the Bible says, you know.
It's true.
Be friendly, be hospitable. Talk to the person that you wouldn't normally talk to. I mean, who knows the friendship that can blossom out of something. And yeah, just be friendly, be nice.
Yeah.
It's not hard to make friends if you're friendly and you you have the Spirit, and yeah, and find a good friend, because the Bible tells us that bad character or bad company corrupts good character.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm not going out to find a friend on a random Instagram page or a bar. I would never be in a bar. Like, I'm not going out there looking for friends somewhere different. I'm in church, and I was looking for friends who's searching the Lord with me, and not only just searching for the Lord, but pushing me on in my relationship. And that's another thing I love about Broslyn is, as hard as I'm running after God, I look over and she's running just as hard, if not harder. And I'm like, okay, I got to get it together. Like, I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing. And I just admire that about her. She's never been about looking for a job or looking for a dream or looking for a relationship or anything like that. She's always been about the Lord. And she embodies that scripture of seeking the kingdom first, and he's going to add everything. And I love that, because I feel like I'm that way too, in my mind, of just let's go after it. Let's go after the Lord. And yeah, you can find friends like that. It's not just for us. It's not reserved for us, but it's reserved for you too. And you're going to have these stories. You're going to have these moments. And if you do have a friend, and I'm just going to say this, but if you do have a friend that you think it could be like this with, make them feel special. Do things with them. Love on them. Don't neglect it. Don't ignore it. And just love on each other, because we're supposed to have friendships. We're supposed to be together in unity, so that one doesn't fall and is left behind or doesn't have anyone to help. We want to help. And Job had some not good friends, and I feel really bad for the guy. I wish he would have had someone there that could have prophesied and encouraged and prayed over him. Yeah. And even David and Jonathan, I love them, but you know, Jonathan was left and died. And I always joke about Broslyn. I'm like, if I'm running, like, you're going with me. Like, I'm not leaving you behind. And I know biblically that had to happen, and there was words, and Saul's family had to go through that. But to me, I'm like, man, David, like, why didn't you grab him? Like, why didn't Jonathan go with you? But yeah, there's some special relationships, and just make sure that you're being friendly. Make sure that you're loving on others. Make sure that you're praying about those things. Don't lose hope for a friendship like this. Don't be distraught or be depressed because you don't have it. God can and wants to give that to you. Yeah. And he will. Just ask and keep praying and keep your ears open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. And even in the beginning, you were saying, like, you were looking at my Facebook and you were like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. Literally, like, don't have, like, this, like, thought of, like, this is what my friend is going to be like or look like or whatever. That literally does not even matter. No. You know, and don't get frustrated in that. Like, be open to whoever the Lord wants to bring into your life, and it'll look like how he wants it to look, and things like that.
And I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong. Her Facebook looked so put together and so cute, and little hairdresser, fitness instructor, all the things. Oh my goodness. She doesn't even do hair. No. I can't even get her to do my hair. That's why her hair looks cute all the time and mine's just straight. Like, I'm like, Broslyn.
That's so funny. Fun fact, I don't like touching other people's hair. It grosses me out. No. I could never.
Nope. She doesn't do a lot of things with other people. She's not very, like. No. I don't know though, but I get the good side because I get that stuff. So yeah, it's true. Like, she shared her jacket with me yesterday, and I was like, she wouldn't have done that with anybody else.
No, I wouldn't have.
It's funny. That is funny.
And I also want to say too, wow, I'm glitching. Hang on. I also want to say too, like, we have fun in our relationship. It's not just like spiritual all the time. No. You know? No. We have fun. Like, real fun. Yeah. Yeah.
We know how to have fun.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, like, you can just be spiritual all the time. And if the friend or whatever I want or whatever, we just going to be spiritual all the time. And like that's whatever, but like,
that's great.
We need to have fun too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, spiritual things are fun, but like, you know, you got to let loose a little bit.
Well, I will say, you know, that moment where you were going through all of that stuff, I don't know
Yes.
how long it was later, just maybe like a week or two. The Lord had really given her freedom in that, and it was raining
Yeah.
in the parking lot, and I don't know why I was listening to that. So I wish I would. I don't remember. But I was listening to Rain Dance, this song that I used to grow up doing these songs, and my family runs a ministry called Rain, and so I've been showing Bryson this song Rain Dance. I don't even remember why.
I don't know either.
But I remember we had come out of a meeting and it was raining, and you grabbed your flags and I blared Rain Dance, and she's dancing in the rain in the parking lot. And I got out and danced for a minute, but it wasn't very long because it was storming.
It was.
But it wasn't this like big spiritual moment, but it was so funny.
It was.
But it was birthed out of freedom.
Yes.
So you can have both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. That's one of my favorite moments
Mine
with you.
too. I love it. Okay, I'm going to expose myself for just a minute, but I can be kind of a little unhinged or chaotic. And Broslyn is the piece to that, but also the instigator to that. And so I'll be like, I bet I could do that. And she looks at me like, do it. And I'm like, okay, now I got to do it. Or like, it's just funny. Like the other night we were driving in a park, and in J through 8, we had like, I'm going to share it. We had jumped off this dock at like 10 o'clock at night into the water. And I was told her, and instead of being like, which I would expect her to be like, that water's gross, because she's very like clean, like doesn't like germs, like very.
Yeah.
I was expecting her to be like, she was like, that's awesome. I would love to do that. And I was like, see, this is why we're best friends. Because if you said that, like, in my mind, I was like, well, let's go jump right now. Like, let's just do it. And so she's the unhinged, or maybe the hinge to my unhinged. I don't know. But it works. She's always like supportive, even in the things that I probably shouldn't be supported in.
It's so true.
It is funny. I'm trying to think of like specific moments.
Yeah. Oh, funny. What was I on? Oh, I have one. So, are you nervous?
I am really nervous.
So, like she was saying, she's like super unhinged. Okay, like literally nothing surprises me at this point. And you know, like one of my favorite seasons is camp season. She literally just, there is no hinge like at all. Like it's gone, all gone. And so there was this one time, it was last year, and it was raining on Water Day, I believe. Or was Water Day every day? I'm not sure. It was every day. But this one was extra watery. And so it was raining, and then there was just mud. Like literally there was like a whole slip and slide of just grass, mud, and water. And Alana was like, I'm going to go dive. She literally runs. I'm not joking. She runs and full on dives on this mud slip and slide. And I was like, I'm hinged. I can't do that. I can't. Like, that is all you, girl. But yeah, it was just so funny. It was the best. She had mud all up in her hair.
All the children were doing it.
Yeah.
Why would I not do that?
I don't know. You get dirty.
I surprised them. All the children were like, what's going on?
It was awesome.
This girl usually gets on to me, and now she's in the mud with me.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I think all the guys loved me for it. All my little ones, they were like, yes, Miss Alana, go.
Yes.
That's my kind of thing, though. I grew up in camps and
Yes.
doing things, and I love that kind of stuff. I will say, though, during camp season, she also encourages me, because I'm like, I want to put beads in my hair. Or I want to do color, or I want to. Okay, so I have been a camp counselor years. Since I was 15, I think.
Yeah.
So 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in, I think I'm about to be on Camp 34, not as a camper, but as a counselor or a leader of a camp. And one thing about me is I hate to lose. I'm going to win. And
It's true.
I'm going to go all out to win. And so camp season is me being super competitive, and I am super competitive.
She is.
Bad. It's bad. And I remember my first creations camp, they were telling me like, okay, you get like a colored cabin, you can decorate it for game time, you can wear your color. And I was like, bet. And so I remember I bought paint for all the girls and we blacked our face and put paint on us. And I had blue rhinestones and blue bandanas and blue ribbons. And we were going to win. I've only counseled one creations camp and I won one creations camp. I won the first one I was in.
Period.
And it's just funny because as I got onto the leadership team of creations, Broslyn would do camps with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be like, okay, I want to do this and this. And she's like, yes, yes. And we can do this and this and this. And I'm like, yes, like that's what I want. And so it's not uncommon to see us walking around camp with beads in our hair and rhinestones on our face and our
bandanas around our legs.
Bandanas and the colors and everything.
Yes.
And I love that because some people would be like, I don't know about that.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the hinge part. It's controlled.
Yes.
But it's still there.
It's so true.
Yeah. Also too, I will say this too. I am a sports girl. I love sports. I love competition. I love everything. This girl also loves everything, which has been hard to find. Not a lot of girls are like that.
No.
And so I'm like, Broslyn, let's go to a baseball game. She's like, yes.
Yes.
I'm like, let's watch a football game. She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, let's turn on some basketball or let's watch. I love tennis.
Yes.
And so she does all of that with me and not just does it and like puts up with it, but she's like in it.
Yeah.
So we went and watched Alabama play baseball and I was like, I want to put a little like A on my face. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And so she did it too. And I just love that. Like,
it's the best.
It is the best. Like, I don't know of anybody else that would do that.
No. It's just so funny because, like, we're so similar, but yet so different.
Yes.
You know? It's a good balance.
It is a good balance.
Yeah.
It's a great balance. Like, I have to blast it because it's one of my absolute favorite things about Broslyn.
Oh, gosh.
Like she said, I looked her up on Facebook. I thought she was one way. And so even now she does things that still shatter that perspective. And I'm always like, I just love you for that. And one of my favorite things, and it's so funny, but it's a small thing, is I don't remember why we went to Burger King one day for lunch, but I think we were in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was to go to camp.
It probably was. Yeah.
And so we were in a rush, and I was like, I'm just going to get a chicken sandwich. So I got one. I was like, Broslyn, what do you want? And she was like, I want a fish sandwich. And I was like, you want what? And like, you may love fish. That's great. I love fish. But for her to say that from Burger King fast food, like, it just shattered. I was like, yeah, we're besties. Like, we can do that. I love it.
It's so funny. I can't.
It's one of my all-time favorite things. Like, I don't know why, but that is, like, up there. She loves the Lord, and she eats fish sandwiches from Burger King.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's my favorite thing to get at Burger King, too. The only thing.
It is the only thing. I get a chicken sandwich.
That's so funny. One of the things I love about you, this is so funny, is that, like, she seems super, like, you know, hey, it's great. Like, she is like that. But when you get her any other place, when it's just us, like, literally, I got to do it from the side view. We were going to Bonifay one time, and we were, like, in traffic or whatever. Something had happened. I don't know why she was doing this. I think something about her ears. They needed popping. She literally, I'm seeing her from a side view. And all I see is her plug her nose, and her cheeks went like this. I said, what are you doing? It's just crazy stuff. I never would expect you to do it.
I was trying to pop my ears. That's how you equalize the pressure in your ears. She's always laughing about that. And I'm like, Broslyn, it's serious. Like,
I just can't. It just cracks me up. And then I'm going to expose you on this too.
Okay.
It was the same trip, and we were hungry, and she also wanted to change because we were going to service that night. This girl fully pulls out her suitcase in the middle of Chick-fil-A parking lot. The whole thing is open. She's digging through her suitcase trying to find her clothes or her hairbrush or something.
It was my hairbrush. Yeah. My hair was needed brushed.
I'm just like, what is
That's
this?
what I'm talking about. The unhinged moment.
Yes.
I'm always getting in the car with like a million things, and I'm like trying to juggle it. And,
it's so true.
And she just laughs at me and like she doesn't even help me. She just laughs at me.
It's so true.
No judgment though. That's what I love.
It cracks me up.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever a dull moment when we're both together.
There's not.
People
There's
know.
not.
People know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh goodness,
Oh goodness.
duo's back together. I'm like, yes, that's right.
Dynamic duo.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That was one of the things too.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
She exposed, but
Oh,
the
no.
podcast already exposed you. So
It's so true.
she is Southern. She talks Southern, but she blames it on me.
It is. I was never Southern until I met you. It's contagious. It's contagious.
Well, it's a good contagious. Because being Southern is the best thing you can be.
it is. It's cute. Like, she doesn't finish her words like right. What am I saying? It's supposed to be right. Right. But I can't really say anything because
That's
I
right.
say it too. That's right.
That's right. Like why? She
Yeah,
she
like
loves
why.
that. Like why?
That's one of my favorite things you say. I'm not joking. It's so funny. But anyways,
Makes sense to me.
yeah.
Makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying.
It's true.
Now others, they may not know. So when
Yeah.
I talk to anybody else, I try to articulate my words
A little bit better.
a little bit better. Well, we have a lot of fun times together, but we also have a lot of spiritual times together. And I know that we had talked about our callings and our destinies being tied together, and it's always just so confirmed. Like the Lord still confirms it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the future holds for us, but I'm excited to find out. But it's so funny because we had went to Florida in January, and we were getting prayed for, and I remember she was sitting beside me, and the minister came up and he was ministering to us, but he was doing it together where everyone else was getting ministered to personally. He came together and he said, I see everywhere that you step, there's going to be oil left behind. And he said, and I also see you stomping and treading on serpents. And to me, I'm like, yes, like, get him. Like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't want the enemy to get away with anything. Like, I want to stomp on the head. Like, I want it out. I don't want any of that. And so just to know that we were going to do it together, and for our prayer for this podcast is so that people can tread on their own serpents, and the enemy won't get you in those places. And that's what we had been praying for. And so when he said that, I remember sitting like this, and the next thing I know, I'm on Broslin's lap. I'd just fallen over in her lap, and I just remember laughing because I was like, yes, like that's what I want our friendship to be. I want us to be known to be able to take care of the enemy out of people's lives and breathe life and breathe purpose and breathe destiny into them where the enemy's tried to confine them and hinder them. And in that moment, it confirmed it. The podcast hadn't even come out yet. Right?
No, wait, it did. I think like
the first
one
episode.
Yeah, one episode did.
The first episode had just come out. And yeah, because we recorded episode 2 the day we got back.
Yep.
I just remember the first episode had come out, and we had been so nervous about doing this. It really was like pulling teeth for us. I'm sorry, Lord, because it was a hard thing to say yes to.
Yeah.
But I just remember that was confirming for us. It was confirming for the Made for This podcast. It's confirming for whatever's coming next. And I also remember thinking, oh, to tread on serpents, there's got to be serpents around our feet.
Right.
And it's funny because I look back and I think of like moments where we had to tread on something together, and we do that. Like, it's just something we do. Of if there's something in her life, I'm praying. If there's something in my life, she's praying. And yeah, I love that we get to do that together. It's not I've got to do it by myself and I've got to push, but just that we get to be together. And I love that. I just love that.
Best. When you were talking, it reminded me of these are like my favorite moments together. Is like when we're ministering together or getting ministered to together. It's the best. But during like this year, being on staff with School of Ministry and stuff, I've had a lot of opportunities to do Saturday devotions with the schools. And every time I lead those, like I have Alana come because, you know, I just want my best friend there.
I want to
you
come
know?
listen.
Yeah. And, but every time, you know, like I do it or whatever, and like she'll come and like it just like I feel like we just go back and forth off of each other. And we've had some opportunities, you know, to pray over some people, and it's just like, I don't know, like we'll just cover one another and like we'll just feed off of each other. I don't know how to explain it. Like I've never ministered with anyone else the way that we do together. Like it's insane. I don't know. It is.
I love it because I remember we were praying for this one specific person in Huntsville, and we had met this. It's funny because it actually confirmed our podcast too, but I'd seen this girl walk by and I just knew the Lord wanted to do something in her life. And then I saw when Bryson saw her and she had the same look on her face, and I was like, and she was like, yeah. And we ended up getting to minister to her, but I remember praying for her. And I felt like I gave it my all. I prayed everything that I saw. I prayed everything that I needed to pray. And then Bryson starts going. And I remember you talked about me having a different perspective, but you had a different perspective. And I remember being like, yes, like everything that I could have missed or everything that needed to be said, like Bryson just came in and just cleaned it up. Like it was a really cool moment. And I was like, yes. And I love that because it's never the same. It's always something just swirled. It just has a different little angle on it. Yeah. And I just love that. Mm-hmm. It's just fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just important to, you know, have friendships that there's no ounce of jealousy or any ounce of envy or any of that comparison toward one another. It's it's definitely important.
Yeah, even in this season, which I don't know if you want to share.
That's fine.
In this season, Broslin's stepping into a relationship, which is really great, really awesome.
Yeah. You're gonna make me start crying.
No. But some people have even come up to me and like, well, how does that make you feel? And I'm like, well, I'm excited. And they're like, you know, there's not anything there because you're not in that season. I'm like, no, like, I'm excited for her. I'm like, this is going to be great. This is awesome. Like, I've had prophetic words about my future husband. Like, that'll come. I'm not worried about it. Like, the Lord's going to bring him when it's time, and that's going to be great. But for right now, for her getting to go through it, like, yeah, that's exciting. That's awesome. Just as long as everyone knows our friendship's number close. Yeah. Like, I can't say number one anymore, but like 1.5, 1.25. Like we're still the same. Like nothing changes. We're close. Yes. That's just funny. We joke about that. So if you don't, it's okay. But yeah, so I think that just not having competitiveness and not having jealousy and not like if Broslyn gets opportunities, like she gets opportunities to minister that I don't. Well, you know why? Because she sings and plays the guitar where I don't. And I love that. One of my favorite things in this world is to watch you minister. Like, because I remember the moments where the enemy did try to confine you and tried to hold you back from that. And I feel like it's me ministering when she's ministering. Like, I find as much fulfillment in it. And I think you need friends like that. I think you need that supportiveness, and you don't have to worry about what they think about you. You don't have to worry about sharing this dark thing, and you don't have to worry about sharing this great thing. The Bible says to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Yes. And there's a lot of friendships and there's been a lot of relationships in my life where that's not been the case. But with Broslyn, it has always been the case. And I love that. I just think that's the sweetest thing ever. I mean, it is important to have those friends where there is no competition. There is no jealousy. Like, we don't sit on the podcast and compete with each other. Like, we don't do that in real life either. Even with her going through this season, like, it's not anything like that. Like, it's not a look at me, I got this, or it's just, this is our season. And I love that because I believe to reach my fullest potential, it's going to be because Broslyn was there supporting me too. And I know that that's what the Lord wants to do. And you need friends like that in your life. I mean, I'm going to go back to David and Jonathan. It's funny because I hate on them a lot because Jonathan didn't make it in that story. And I wish he would have went with David. Like, my heart really does wish he would have went with David.
Yeah.
And that's why I give him a little bit of slack. But they needed each other. Like, David's running. David is anointed king. And then he's on the run for years. Mm-hmm. And there's dark times. I mean, he's in a cave. He's hiding. And there's going to be times like that in your life where you feel like it's just dark. I need something. I need the Lord, because it's not always promise fulfilled, promise fulfilled, promise fulfilled, promise fulfilled. There's a waiting time. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you're with me. It doesn't mean you won't walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It just means you won't be afraid. And I love that, because without the competition, without the jealousy, I can come to her and I can say, hey, look, like, this is what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it's encouraging and it's edifying, and it brings life into a place where I couldn't find life. And I think we all need that in our lives. You're not too big, or you're not too spiritual, or you're not too low, and you're not too unwanted. Like, you need a friend in your life, and I need a friend in my life. God just so happened to give me the best friend ever. Mm-hmm. But we all need that for that reason, to reach our calling, to reach our fullest potential. You were made for this. What? Friendship.
Yes.
You were made to have good friends. You were made to have people you can call on, and not only to have that, but to be that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So true.
Yep.
All right. We want to close out?
No, I love this episode.
I know. I want to keep going.
Me too.
We can talk about this for hours.
Same. Well, I think we've said everything that we planned to share. We planned to glitched. I think we have shared everything that we planned to share, and of course, there's so much more. I think I could talk about this every day for the rest of my life, because I love it so much, and I love Brycelyn so much. But we hope that you find life in this. We hope that you laugh with us, joke with us a little bit about some things you probably didn't know about us. And I pray that you are encouraged in your friendships. I pray that the Lord gives you one if you don't have one, or I pray that he strengthens the one that you do have. And to all of our friends in our lives, all of the other relationships that we have, we love you guys too. Yes. And we need you. Brycelyn tells me about her friend Joy all the time. Oh, yes. And I know I've not met you yet, Joy, but I love hearing about your revelation and what you're doing. And I know every time you send a dream or a prophetic word to Brycelyn, like, it's totally on point. And what I love is it's not on point just for her, but it's on point for me. And there's a lot of other people in our life, like Regina. She's another one of my best friends, and I wouldn't have made it through these seasons without her either. She's just a great person, and a great friend, and someone that I need. And so this is not look at our friendship.
Yeah, not at all.
There's so many more out there that we need, but we just wanted to share from our perspective about ours and how special it is, because it is very special. And so we hope that you find that. We hope that your friendships get strengthened. We hope that you just prosper in all that you do, and that you tread on the serpents in your life with your friends, and that the enemy cannot succeed. But the plans of the Lord will have victory in your life. If you're made for anything, you're made for this: victory.
Yes. Amen. That's right.
Yep. So share this. Give us a like on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yes. All the things. I think
all
that's
the things. I think that is everything. Yeah. So give us a like and get ready. In 2 more weeks, we'll be back. Yep. I'm glad to be back.
I know. I'm so happy to have you back.
Well, we love you guys. We're praying for you, and we hope that you have a great week, and that you find out that you were made for this. Bye.